Thank you very much. Thank you. Oh yeah, there are my slides. How are you?
Positive.
So I guess the agenda is very gloom, a bit opportunistic, and I come here and I just break the house and say it's an awesome market, let's go to Russia. Okay, I'll try my best. Anyway, as mentioned, my name is Artem Danilyans, in Russian, Artyom Danilyans, and Finnish people couldn't spell or pronounce Artyom, so I changed my name to Artem, so that's how it is. I understood that the Estonian part that said Suuremad trendid or something similar to that, so there is, I guess, some benefit to me actually speaking 3 languages, Russian, Finnish, and English. Okay, so about me briefly, I know that's the most boring part of the presentation usually, but maybe I can highlight a bit my background and what I do, and maybe why I do what I do. So, I always loved technology. I guess the way that I got into what I do is through passion more than called calculation. I always loved technology. In high school I created my first internet portal for hobby, and all of a sudden I got it to 500,000 users, and I was like, whoa, let's put ads on there. I put some ads and basically supported our partying habits of our high school friends. That's how I got into internet marketing, creating portals. I used to do everything myself. I love to do everything myself. I love coding and so forth. I also love marketing, online marketing. It's one of the few things you can do now in Russia also, where it's pretty much the same playing field, big player, small player. I, a high schooler with no money, could compete with really big sites that have media budgets. My media budget was a bus ticket worth, I guess. That's how big my media budget was. So that's how I got into online marketing. I really loved the idea that the barrier to entry is 0. And the same thing is in Russia. And that's why I kind of decided to follow my passion and create my company, which is basically technology and marketing. We do websites, we create Facebook applications, we create mobile solutions, and the best way to explain what my company does, I guess, it's if a computer programmer married a marketing director, the resulting child would be something of my company. Anyway, let's go to a bit interesting part. I'm half Finnish. I've been living in Finland for soon 20 years. I like reindeers a lot. I guess that's the symbol. Estonia doesn't have reindeers, do you? No. So far, yeah. They might migrate from warmer weather. Anyway, I came with Viking Line to Tallinn, and I live in a small city called Oulu, and to be honest, it just for a little bit, when I was going through the gates, I was in awe. I just stood quietly and I just looked and I thought, I never seen so many Finnish people in one place. You know, I never seen them in my city. It's always empty. I see those guys. Anyway, so I'm also half Russian background. I was originally born in Turkmenistan, lived in St. Petersburg, moved with my mom to Sweden, moved to Finland, so yeah, quite a trip, yeah. But anyway, I'm half Russian, and the way I guess that would best describe my business background is I understand the challenges that Finnish and European countries generally have, since I do business every single day in Finland. But I also realize the potential of Russian market. And that puts me in a very good spot in terms of providing opportunities for my customers. But hey, boring part over. Whew! Now we can go to the actual part that might interest you guys. So, I will highlight a few trends and I will try to bring a bit of examples so I can actually demonstrate how you can take advantage. And the situation might be as it is. And I really appreciate the presentation, and it offers a lot of opportunities. I may be able to tell you some of the trains you can hop on when you're thinking about Russia and going to Russia. So, I guess first trend is that big players are entering Russian market really, really strongly. I mean, if you think about it, eBay, PayPal, they're bringing now more operations to Russia, even though the climate is a bit challenging. I guess that would be the best way to describe it.
So, no climate in internet.
Oh yes, yes. That's why I love internet. It's always steady. Anyway, so there are big companies, and definitely yes, internet allows for leverage. There is a lot of leverage possible to do online that is not possible offline. So also a lot of retails are moving online and providing services to Russian customers. Chinese companies are creating warehousing. For example, in terms of Finland, Finland Postal Service is doing more and more efforts to provide services in Russia in terms of warehousing and postal services and so forth. So that's one of the things. And eBay, for example, had a lot of success in Russian market despite the situation that there is. And I think now that we're entering Russian market, it's going to be a bit harder because big players, bring big media budgets, and that again raises the price of marketing and so forth and the cost of the visibility. Okay, this is the part I'm super happy about. Really, really happy about. Russians are getting more and more accustomed to using their credit cards. Hooray for that! Hooray for the credit cards. Why? Because we can sell goods much, much better using credit cards. Before, the Russian financial market in terms of, for example, online was much more challenging in terms of there are different virtual currencies like Yandex Money, Kiwi and so forth and so forth, and in order to get money from those virtual currencies you might have to have a Russian company and so forth. But what's great about credit cards is you can use the same payment processors you use in Estonia and leverage that in order to provide services. And I think there is a good connection with this and travel that I will mention a bit later. But yes, before there was a lot of, well, people were afraid of fraud and so forth, and there are a lot of systems in place in Russia that allows you to monitor credit cards and so forth, SMS notification and stuff that we in Finland, for example, never hear about. But they are more and more accustomed to using their credit cards, and that's great. Great trend. So, oh, yeah. Tour operator business will decline dramatically. Well, there was mention of that in the previous presentation. Thank you very much. That also emphasizes my point. And it's a bit maybe challenging in terms of mistrust that is created. But what is great about Russian market is Russians trust European providers, Finnish providers, and so forth. Russians, yeah.
Everybody has said that anyway, Russians want to travel. If they don't go to holiday to Turkey 1 week, how often they do choose the possibility to take a train, bus, or by their own car going to Finland or, for example, Estonia? Is this rising?
Well, the way that I think the amount of visitors, tourists in Finland has been rising just a tad, but the amount of money they leave in the country is going down a bit. So I think, well, there is even a joke, you know, people from St. Petersburg see a car with Moscow plates in Finland and they say, whoa, those Moscows, you know, come to our place and, you know, make the roads busy in Finland. So, you know, definitely Russians, the barrier to entry to Finland, for example, or Estonia is really small. I don't think there is going to be a decline unless there are some heavy regulations or something. I mean, in terms of shopping, I work with retail clients, you know, brands like Prisma and Sokos and so forth in Finland, and they don't see a decrease in terms of amount of people that choose to come and shop still in Finland, for example. I think the situation will not be much different in Estonia, at least for conceivable future. Okay, but the situation with tour operators, again, yes, Russians will definitely start saving more and spending a bit less, be more cautious, especially with the news about tour operators, you know, going busts and so forth. But great opportunity for us. Save money by booking directly, from us, book everything in advance and we give you a discount. Pay now, we'll give you a gift, and so forth and so forth. Work with a trustworthy European country and so forth. Yes?
Pay now and fix the rate. That's also very...
Oh, yes, very much so, very much so.
So one more point.
Yes?
Sorry to say.
Yeah.
Italy introduced 5 years Schengen visa for Russia.
Yeah.
Just imagine what's happening now. The rule is first country you need to enter is the one issued the visa. When Polish government, Polish people, Polish ambassador, I know him personally, knew him personally, the previous one, said, come and get your 5 years visa. I understood immediately that I need to travel to Poland. So if you do it, all neighborhood regions of Russia are yours. Because to get Estonian visa is a little bit difficult in Russia.
It's not so much difficult anymore, but one last question.
Please go ahead.
2016, Kotka visit 72 hours would be free of visa. What, you see competitors.
Yeah, well, there was a lot of talk about visa-free entrance to Finland and so forth, but that has been put on ice. But it's...
Not nice. It's compared from 2016, Kotka would be, you can, if you travel from Russia to Kotka, you should, basically you can go even to Tallinn
Yeah.
at that time.
Yeah, okay. Okay, but I mean nationwide visa-free entrance,
Yeah,
that's what I meant. But the point is it's in everybody's advantage to make entrance as easy as possible. But tour operators, provide an opportunity for us. Directly go after customer that has that credit card he's not afraid to use anymore and give him the benefits of booking directly with us. Okay, most online growth will happen in other regions besides Moscow and St. Petersburg. So the internet penetration rate is not going to grow much in those regions, Moscow and St. Petersburg, but there's going to be a lot more people like him using mobile devices and more mobile devices around. So people will have more mobile devices per household, a tablet, an iPhone, a Nokia device, maybe an Android device and so forth. But the growth in terms of I'm still hoping. I'm still hoping.
No, I understand it's a Finnish joke. No,
Nokia.
Okay. Protect the motherland, the Finland. Nokia is great. No, okay. Anyway, the point is the growth will come from other regions. The e-commerce growth, the internet penetration rate will rise in other regions, and that's great. Because there is not so much competition in terms of advertising and so forth in those regions. It's much easier to get a foothold there. So definitely in terms of online, the growth will come from other regions in near future. Definitely something to focus on.
I know, I'm sorry, we are taking some part of panel discussion already, but it's very nice that, how much you pay for internet, in-house internet?
In-house internet, you mean at home?
At home, yeah.
Yeah, I think 25 euros. It's 100 megabit.
Per month?
Yes.
I don't have 100, but I think I have 25, and in nowadays rate, I pay 3 euro per month. Yeah. And that's, it's almost equal for all of Russia, maybe up to 5 euros.
Is it the cable or...
it's
mobile?
No, it's a cable, but mobile is not the same. Maybe it's a bit more expensive, but I mean that it's very affordable. It's very affordable.
Yeah. Yes,
One
please.
reason why, if you look in internet shopping outside of Moscow and St. Petersburg, advance is that there are competitors in the shops. So if you go to Yakutsk, then you don't have so much shops showing women's latest mode, for example.
Yeah, yeah. Very good, very good. People supporting my point. What could be better? Awesome. Okay, so Mobile devices, I already mentioned that, but the whole situation in Russia is that they kind of skipped 3G and went to 4G. So it's very nice when I go to Russia and the connection is faster than at home in Finland. So that's always good. But the thing is, they are very sensitive to upgrading devices. They want to have the latest, the greatest iPhones. Well, Lappeenranta, for example, sends tons of iPhones. Every time iPhone or some Apple device comes out, Russians just go and clear the house. But anyway, they have latest and greatest, and they have better connection than us. Well, in most cases, in terms of big cities, obviously. Yes?
What about free Wi-Fi?
Free Wi-Fi. Well, if you go to St. Petersburg, pretty much any cafe offers free Wi-Fi.
Subway.
But what?
Subway.
Subway.
Subway stations in St. Petersburg.
Oh, yeah.
Subway trains in Moscow.
Yeah, but the Wi-Fi penetration is definitely growing in big cities especially. But you know, I don't think there is a city-wide Wi-Fi's yet, you know, that cover the whole city that are free.
Not the whole city,
The
but
cities are too big.
Yes, yes, yes. That was bragging, wasn't it?
there is a municipal Wi-Fi in Subway and in,
Yeah.
for instance, St. Peter Nevsky. And I would say that because I'm traveling around Europe more than 10 years, and I can say that now. For instance, on my handy, I don't have internet. I mean, I have it blocked because I travel and can eat a lot of money. And so when I need to check my email when I'm going to office, I always have a couple of coffee which are kind of nearby, and I get emails and then
Yeah.
going again. So it's very easy.
Yeah, very good. But mobile again offers a lot of opportunities. If you think about, there is a lot of stuff you can do in mobile that you cannot do normally. Applications, creating a native application allows you to have direct access to the client 24/7, push notifications and so forth, his behavior, location. There's a lot of interesting things you can do in terms of mobile. Okay. One thing about maybe mobile is that mobile is not yet used as much as, for example, it's used in the United States to do purchases. I think in the United States the amount of purchases done using mobile devices is approaching very high figures. In Russia it's not yet the case. Somebody got an email. Good. That's mobile internet right there. So the thing is that once the infrastructure will come for mobile purchasing, those devices will be used for purchases. So again, people who invest now in good mobile experience will leverage that when later on more shopping will arrive on mobile. Okay, well, e-commerce in Russia is huge. I mean, audience of 9.5 million. So basically, if all of the Finland went online and started buying, we couldn't compete with Russia. And the growth is 30% in 2013. What it will be, what is estimated, who knows, but the thing is, things will grow, and the internet penetration rate reaching other cities and other regions will only increase and fuel e-commerce in Russia. So medical tourism, well, we work with some clients, even governmental hospitals and so forth, are now looking into, hey, we could provide a lot of interesting services in terms of medical services to Russian customers in Russian language, and hey, they're not really that far off. And in terms of pricing, we can be really competitive. And Russians used to travel to Israel because of the immigrants in there that can provide services in Russian. But now, for example, a client in Germany that specializes in prevention of breast cancer heavily invests into Russian market in order to reach those customers in Russia who are looking into world-class care in Europe. So that will definitely increase, and we only will see increase. Yes?
One comment. I have been
Always.
traveling quite a lot in Belarus, and
Yeah.
Russians are going to Belarus, to Minsk, have all kinds of operations.
Yeah.
It's not produced in Europe or Israel.
Oh, obviously, the fragmentation is there, of course, but the volume is growing, which allows for more opportunity in terms of also Europe, and obviously we have to compete with other countries for those Russian customers. Okay, logistics are getting better, so in terms of logistics, you have to realize that Russians like to pay when they get the stuff at home. You know, that's very much different from what it is in, for example, Finland. You know, Estonians probably pay using online banking, right? When you buy something online and the money is gone and the only thing you can do is cry and hope that the stuff you ordered is actually fitting you well and looks good and so forth. Anyway, Russians like to hold it in their hand and then they will likely part with their cash. But that provides an interesting challenge. How do you get that cash from that courier to your Estonian company? And there is a lot of interesting opportunities there, and a lot of companies are looking into that in terms of, for example, Finnish company Tela, they are looking into providing a turn-free solution, warehousing, cash on delivery, insurance of the packages, everything, tracking, getting money back to your country and so forth. So there's going to be a lot of solutions soon and already that allow you to just not worry. They select cash on delivery and then somebody else handles all the hard stuff. So, and logistics are obviously getting better in terms of other cities and other regions. So, Yandex is still the king. If you think about Yandex, how many of you have corporate website? Just quick, come on, let's try the, yes, everybody. Oh, you don't even try. Come on. So, how many of you have actually a strategy on optimization your site for Yandex? A strategy, not something like, hopefully it works there too. Yeah, that's, yeah, I see that, Okay, good. You are minority. A lot of people just say, well, doesn't it work like Google? Well, in terms of people who are not heavily invested into going to Russia in terms of online. But Yandex is very different. There are a lot of things you have to do in order to get more visibility. And Yandex holds about 70% of contextual advertising space in Russia. So definitely think about that when going to Russia. And hey, my, I guess, last point is, why not go to Russia now when the competition is dying off? Because like all the markets, when it goes down, it's bound to come up. But do you want to be on top when it comes up, or do you want to start the race with everybody else? So a lot of my clients, big clients, large concerns, they're in Finland, they're investing heavily in providing online solutions to Russian customers, advertising, customer support and so forth. So, quick summary. Sell directly to consumer. You can finally ship your stuff and it finally gets there. Offer deliveries to Russia, yes. Credit cards offer opportunity. You can sell directly services and goods. Invest in Yandex visibility, but don't forget vKontakti. vKontakti is huge and growing, biggest, but in terms of hard like selling, Yandex is very, very effective. Search engine marketing, yes?
Rambler.
Rambler. Well, I think Yandex is...
With the spot
I think it was bought out either by Yandex and
Rambler is still there, but the game is certainly, Yandex is not still king, Yandex is simply king. So Rambler is going well on e-commerce, but not as a search engine more.
And I think it's owned by Yandex.
It's using the Yandex search engine to generate the results, but it has only like 1% share, market share is what it is.
Yeah. So if you think about advertising budget, you can try, if it makes sense in your business, you can try some other regions because, for example, contextual advertising in Moscow is really, really expensive. You might consider some other markets if you're doing just PPC and so forth. Okay, and make sure you offer superior mobile experience because most likely the customer on your website might have a better phone than you and faster connection than you. So thank you very much. I'll be available here today. If you have any questions, just come say hi. Thank you.
Thank you a lot.